Michigan State baseball gets an absolute massive home series win against Iowa. This is an Iowa team that has played pretty well so far this year. This is an Iowa team that won their first Big Ten series of this year. And Michigan State obviously has been a little bit of a difficult year for them overall, have been kind of struggling outside of really the first series of the year against Louisville, where MSU actually won that series. A lot of people were really excited about this team, but this was the first series of the year at home. MSU needed to find a way to win the series, especially because MSU in Big Ten play had struggled coming into this. Michigan State really needed to find a way to get a couple home wins, and that's exactly what they did. And really, you have to mention the starting pitching. I thought Michigan State starting pitching in the first two games was absolutely spectacular. Aiden Donovan and Carter Monk has been great for this Michigan State team all year long. There's obviously some starts that they've had that maybe hasn't been as great, but they've been really two guys that have been consistent throughout this year. And it truly has been Michigan State's bats that have been a little bit wondering, like, where are they? What's kind of going on? And Michigan State, even in the series, really kind of started to figure that out a little bit as well, because MSU got out to a fast start on game number one, and you really have to shout out Isaac Sturgis. I thought Isaac Sturgis was absolutely massive for Michigan State in this series, and he was really kind of the guy that got Michigan State started in this one in game number one. He was able to score the first run of the game with a double to right field, scoring Kamari Thomas. Really outside of that, it was Dan Murphy that ended up scoring the other run, and Michigan State was able to get a 2-0 win in game number one. Aiden Donovan was absolutely dominant in game number one. He went 7 innings, 5 hits, 0 earned runs, obviously 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. The main key for this Michigan State team is not only scoring runs when they get the opportunity, when they have base runners. Michigan State has struggled to do that throughout this year, but Michigan State has also struggled striking out quite a bit. And I think that was another really huge thing for Michigan State to kind of figure out in this series, is that really kind of trying to have less at-bats striking out. And this was a really good start for Michigan State in this one, because MSU really didn't strike out in game number one very often. 4 strikeouts. There's been a couple of times where Michigan State has gotten close to 10 strikeouts, and maybe even more than 10 strikeouts. Michigan State had really good at-bats in this one. Even though they only scored 2 runs in this game, they were able to really kind of get out to a lead, really were able to rely on Aiden Donovan. And even with those 2 runs, they still put up 7 hits in this game, out hitting Iowa. Outside of Aiden Donovan, Nolan Higgins came in for the last 2 innings. I thought he was really good. Nolan Higgins has been a huge part of this bullpen for Michigan State, and he was able to come in, get 2 strikeouts, really put Iowa away in the first game, and really kind of gain a little bit of confidence, because if you get a 2-0 win in your first game, that's really setting you up for hopefully a series that ends up going pretty well for you. And that's exactly what happened for Michigan State. Isaac Sturgis was absolutely massive in game number one. Trent Rice was a guy that also got hit as well. Ryan McKay continued to hit. CJ Deckinga got hit as well. There's just multiple guys that were able to really step up in game number one for Michigan State. But another massive game number two, and this was where Michigan State offensively absolutely just unloaded against Iowa. And this was a game where even Carter Monk, maybe not his quote-unquote best performance he's had this year, still went 6 2/3, only 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. He gave Michigan State exactly what they needed. Brady Chambers is another guy that has been a huge part of this bullpen. Only 2 earned runs in this one, 5 earned runs in total, but it didn't matter at the end of the day, because Michigan State offensively, this was a breakout moment for Michigan State. I truly hope that this is going to be not one that continues to just be a one-off situation, because I think this team has the capability to be a good offense. And it starts out with guys like Randy Seymour. Randy Seymour went 3 for 3 in this game, 5 RBIs, an absolutely massive day for him. You also have to mention, again, Dane Murphy, 2 for 4 on the day. Kamari Thomas continues to be impactful, scoring 2 runs, had 1 walk in this game. You also have to mention Nick Williams, 2 hits on 4 at-bats this game. Michigan State got going offensively in this one. This is the best by far offensive performance. 13 hits on the day, 15 runs in total. And lastly, you have to mention, obviously, the walk-off for Michigan State in this one. Adam Broski hitting a grand slam walk-off to give Jake Boss Jr. his 500th career win ever. 475 at Michigan State, 25 at Eastern Michigan. Adam Broski has been a bat that truly has had a couple home runs this year. Adam Broski has had moments where he's looked really, really good. MSU had good play appearances in this one, had a couple of walks that were able to score runs. Isaac Sturgis, one of those guys. Trent Rice also was a guy on the base path that was really impactful for Michigan State. This was never really a game that really got close because Isaac Sturgis, again, started things. Randy Seymour, an absolutely massive 3-run home run. Kamari Thomas continued to get involved. And really, Iowa never really got close, never really got comfortable. In the 7th inning, MSU struggled a little bit pitching-wise, but outside of that, it was just because of like one home run and a triple. It was just giving up a couple big hits for Michigan State, but obviously Adam Broski getting the walk-off grand slam to give Michigan State the win and also give Jake Boss Jr. His 500th win. So congrats to Coach Boss on his 500th coaching win. And Michigan State already clinched the series going into game number 3. And game number 3 was a little bit kind of back to what Michigan State has been. Bullpen obviously was pretty good in this game. Starting pitching did kind of give up a little bit. I do think Michigan State went more of kind of like a bullpen type day though. Kyle Rudolph went 2 innings. Logan Picard went 2 innings. Dan Grunman went 2 innings. Tommy Shapansky went 2 innings. Kyle gave up 5 earned runs. Logan gave up a couple earned runs. That was really it for Iowa. But the one thing is Iowa actually got out to a really fast start. That was really kind of the difference. Striking out wasn't actually a big issue for Michigan State in this game. Striking out wasn't really a big issue for Michigan State in general in this series. But when Iowa went up 6-0 in the 3rd, it's really, really difficult to obviously come back from. Michigan State was able to score a couple of runs in the 3rd, but then Iowa was able to really kind of put it away until Noah Bright ended up having a solo home run in the 5th inning. MSU wasn't able to get anything going outside of that. 3rd game was definitely not as great pitching wise, still hitting wise. 8 hits on the day. You definitely like seeing that. You definitely would like to see Michigan State get more runs in when they get opportunities. Michigan State also had 4 errors in this game as well. That's something that Michigan State's going to have to continue to work on, continue to fix. But overall, for Michigan State, I would say this is a pretty good series, especially a series win. Really need to kind of gain some confidence going forward, especially because this is a Big Ten that you have to be in the top 12 to get into the Big Ten tournament. Obviously, MSU isn't great record-wise in the Big Ten, but they're currently in the top 12. Obviously, they played a few more Big Ten games than other teams have been, and so maybe that doesn't necessarily hold, but you just need to continue to figure out ways to win series, especially at home, and maybe steal a couple of series here and there. If they can do that, that conference record will improve. They'll continue to kind of work their way up. But hitting's going to have to continue to improve. Pitching outside of basically Aiden Donovan and Carter Mugg, especially starting pitching, will need to be better. But outside of that, good series for Michigan State. Really happy for this team. I think this team's a lot better than the record says, but maybe this will be the series that kind of gets them started. But we'll obviously see what their next game on Tuesday against Central Michigan. Obviously, that's a game that you'll want to win. And then after that, you're home again against Purdue. And this is a Purdue team that's 5-4 in Big Ten play. If you figure out a way to win that series, continue to build your way up in the standings. But we'll obviously talk about that when that time happens. Good series win for Michigan State. Thanks for tuning into this episode. If you like it, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. And thanks for tuning into this episode.